let's see a show of hands for all of the people who have teeth in the room. You got teeth, dentures, crowns. You know, George Washington had false teeth. Everyone who's got teeth should have their hand raised. Okay, so far so good. Now, how many of those of you with your hands raised like going to the dentist? You like going, you leave your hand up. Don't like, hand down. No value judgment. All right, so the three people who like going to the dentist, here's what I'm going to share with you. A business model that has become the foundation of a movement that's transforming, hopefully, your experience of going to the dentist into one that involves wellness, comfort, yes, comfort, and prevention, and also at the same time transforming an industry, transforming the way dentistry is practiced so that it can embody the best that technology has to offer with environmental sustainability and profitability. So it wasn't very long ago that dentistry looked a lot like this. Now it pretty much looks like this, but it also looks like this. Our vision is that dentistry begins to look a lot more like this. 10 years ago, if you would have told me, I'm an intellectual property lawyer by training, if you would have told me that I would be transforming dentistry, I would have told you you were crazy. I was deathly afraid of dentists. And now, unbelievably, even to me, I live and breathe dentistry, and I even sleep with my dentist, this very handsome guy right here, Dr. Fred Pockrass. So Fred and I got together in 2002 and decided, what could we do together that would really have an impact? And we created this dental office, as Joel said, Transcendentist in Berkeley, California. And we looked at the myriad of decisions that have to be made in order to create a dental office. Everything from what kind of an x-ray system do you put in, to how do you communicate with your patients, to what kind of a flooring do you put into the office. And at the end of the day, we had realized that what we'd done is actually created a model for green dentistry. And we used a triple bottom line lens in analyzing every single one of the decisions that we made. We were able to create this model and realized there's all this waste that we were able to avoid. We created a dental office that's now in the top 5% of dental offices nationwide within 5 years, no marketing expenses, great model. But what was the aggregate impact of dentistry as a whole, we asked. So we started doing some research. And unfortunately, the story isn't very pretty. So we learned that there's a beautiful, clean industry, nice guys in white coats and the whole 9 yards, but there's a dirty secret behind there. And it looks like this. So it's really about conventional x-rays. It's about sterilization and barriers, and I'm going to give you some scary numbers in a moment. It's about mercury amalgam waste, and it's about our suction machines, those things that take the stuff out of your mouth, and it's got to go somewhere. So here are the numbers that we came up with. I'll start with the easy one, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a minute, which is mercury amalgam waste. EPA estimates that the dental industry alone contributes 3.7 tons of mercury-containing waste to our nation's water streams every year. 7,400 pounds. Scary to me. Conventional x-ray systems. So instead of using digital radiography, which I can't believe in 2011, only 25% of dental offices in this country use digital radiography. The impact of conventional x-rays is not only exposing you to a lot more radiation, but also 28 million liters of toxic x-ray development fixer and 4.8 million lead foils, yes, lead foils dumped. And in many communities that don't have hazardous waste requirements, guess where? Ends up in landfill. Barriers and sterilization. About 20 years ago, dentistry decided to cover everything in the office in plastic, including the dentist. So here's what happens. Here's the impact of that. 680 million barriers. So when you go into a dental office and you're sitting on that very comfortable piece of plastic on the chair, it's ripped off when you leave, and it's put into a big garbage bag, and it ends up in our landfills. 1.7 billion sterilization pouches. You know, we have to sterilize our instruments, but guess what? There are hospital-tested methods that are made of reusable cloth that are available for dentistry, but they're not widely adopted. Dental vacuum systems. The average dental vacuum system uses 360 gallons of water every day. So in a state like Arizona and other southern states, this is a huge impact. So this is mercury amalgam. How many of you have the so-called silver fillings in your mouth? Raise your hands. Be honest. Okay. How many of you knew that those silver fillings are 50% mercury? A lot less of you. All right. So when these things come out of your mouth, they have got to go somewhere. So just like there's only about 25% of dentists that actually are using digital radiography, only about 25% of dentists in 2011 are actually capturing that old mercury-containing waste before it ends up in our water supplies. And oh, by the way, when it ends up in our water supplies, our waste treatment facilities are ill-equipped to deal with it. It ends up going out into the water stream. Fish take the elemental mercury. They convert it into methyl mercury. We eat the fish. Not so good. So armed with all of this information, we said, well, what can we do? How do we leverage the knowledge we got? We could franchise. But we said, let's create an association. Let's create a movement that can help dentists all over the world to embody this. So here we are. We're armed with our great data. And we go out to the dental industry, and we start talking about green dentistry. And this is what they hear. We're from Berkeley. Okay, Birkenstock, incense. This is their listening. They hear green, kami, pinko. We said, no. So we knew right away, if we did not define ourselves, they would define us. So we defined green dentistry. And we defined it as dentistry which helps to reduce waste and pollution, save energy, water, and money, very important, a traditional value, incorporates the best of high technology, and also supports the wellness lifestyle. Green dentistry addresses dentist pain. Now, I know you think this is kind of funny because when you go to the dentist, you think of pain. But dentists have pain too. They are scientists. They're great people. They have a very high overhead business. They're trying to do 5,000 things at once. And what green dentistry offers them is a solution to their two biggest problems. How do I get more patients? And how do I stand out from the crowd? How do I become the purple cow in the field? Turns out green dentistry helps them solve both problems. Bottom line benefits. It lowers supply costs. Some of our Eco-Dentistry Association members are telling us that their supply costs have been reduced by between 10 and 20% by going green and switching to reusables. Reduces marketing costs. So instead of spending $2,000 a month printing postcards on virgin paper and sending them out to zip codes, you work with your patients and they become evangelists for your practice, and they go out and promote you. It can recession-proof a practice. So we're hearing from our Eco-Dentistry Association members, we have members in 45 states and in 13 countries around the world, that they have weathered this recession so much better than their peers. Why? Because they have that values connection with their patients. So our association provides three things. One is education, two is standards, and the third is connection. Here we are in October of 2010 at the American Dental Association Conference in Orlando, the belly of the beast, if you will. And we presented the industry's very first green lounge. So it wasn't just that we presented educational presentations, which we did. We had 4 a day. But our entire booth modeled sustainability. So you see those people sitting on those cute little chairs. They're actually corrugated cardboard that was used to ship the booth there and then was used to ship the booth home. So we modeled sustainability in every single aspect of what we're doing. Standards. We've got 2 standard-setting programs. One is for dental offices called Green Doc Dental Office Certification. And we've begun certifying dental offices all over the country according to a multi-factor checklist and providing a lot of support to dentists in terms of product choices and other things that they can do. We've also begun certifying dental products because we've heard from the industry, wow, we don't know, what's a green product? How do we tell? So we are certifying now green dental products. Finally, connection. So this is a screenshot from our brand new website. We have a great website now, but we're moving to 2.0. Connection. We connect the green dental patient to the green dental practitioner through an online search that the public can access. And we connect the green dental professional to the products and services he or she needs in order to be green and stay green. And we connect everybody to the information that's needed in order to recognize that, you know what, we all got teeth and we have to do something about it. So to prove to you that green dentistry is not just a Berkeley thing, I'm going to give you 3 examples of some of our members and start with Dr. Philip Morad in Arizona. And he was a traditional kind of a cosmetic, high-tech dentist. And we like to say to these folks, you're greener than you think you are. If you're digital everything, you're a lot of the way there. And Dr. Morad has been beginning to really reap the benefits of that for his consumers. Dr. Mary Trahar, who's over in Annapolis, Maryland, she's a big proponent of our Save 90 a Day campaign. How many of you turn off the water when you brush your teeth? Good, yay, I love all of you. 90 glasses of water per day per person can be saved. So Dr. Mary Trahar has signed up over 100 of her patients to pledge to do this every day. And then finally, Dr. Stephen Green in Indiana, and he's got a great name for a green dentist. He was about to retire, and he said, you know what, I'm going to do something really radical. I'm going to open up in Indiana a green dentistry practice, and he's rocking it. So what can I share with you in terms of what we've learned about transforming the dental industry and how that might be applicable to your industries? Meet them where they are. So if we had turned a deaf ear to the listening that we were from Berkeley and they were thinking we were commie pinko leftists, we would never have been heard. So meet your people where they are, recognize where they are, diffuse those hot button issues, or diffuse those kinds of misconceptions. And then secondly, manage your hot button issues effectively. Mercury amalgam fillings are the most controversial issue in dentistry. 50% of dentists believe in it. 50% of dentists wouldn't be caught dead using the material. If we would have come out and said, ban amalgam, we would have been fringe. So instead what we said is, whether you put the stuff in or you take it out, please deal with it responsibly. So manage your hot button issues effectively. And then articulate the value proposition in traditional terms. For us, we understood that dentistry and the practice of dentistry is extremely high overhead and that dentists are very cost sensitive. And so we articulated our argument for them in terms of traditional things like cost savings. Our vision is that everybody's going to be able to go to a dental office that looks a whole lot more like this. Notice the natural light coming in, all the digital technology. And really, the change starts with you, each and every one of you that has teeth. I want to empower you. Please go to our website, join the conversation, join our Facebook page. We have a great letter on our website called Green My Dentist. You can download it. If you love your dentist, say, you know, it's important to me to not sit on a plastic bag. So become part of the conversation and become part of dentistry's green future. Thank you.